I challenge Jay Prince to a boxing match. I'll beat his in the ring with them gloves.
That's not trash talk. That's a death wish wrapped in defiance.
You sent some weak to shoot a gun at me. Pow! I started to call the police.
One man, one video, one name that made an entire Houston empire implode.
He'll be calling the FBI in the morning to file a report. Why? Because James Prince sent a representative. James Prince sent a representative of Rap-A-Lot Records, Mob Ties, Criminal Enterprise.
This is the moment Jay Prince Jr. lost complete control, and what happened next would shake the entire rap industry. Welcome back. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to hear is the most explosive breakdown of how one controversial figure accidentally exposed one of hip-hop's most feared families to federal prosecution. This isn't just a beef. This isn't just street drama. This is the story of how Charleston White, a man most people wrote off as crazy, managed to do what the feds have been trying to do for decades: build an ironclad case against the Jay Prince dynasty. And it all started because one man couldn't keep his mouth shut. To understand what's happening, you need to understand the monster we're dealing with. For nearly 4 decades, the Jay Prince family has controlled Houston with an iron fist. Senior, the patriarch, built an empire starting in the late 1980s with Rap-A-Lot Records. He turned street credibility into a legitimate business model. But that business model came with a price that everyone in hip-hop has had to pay. It's called checking in.
And they convinced somebody from priority to go directly to Scarface without communicating with me.
Okay, that doesn't happen.
I mean, that's not the proper way. He pursued his situation, right? It didn't go well for him because he didn't do protocol-wise.
Wow.
Translation: if you're anybody affiliated with street activity, and in rap, that's almost everyone. You come to Houston, you find Jay Prince, you show respect, you pay your dues. You don't step foot in that city. And he means it. Jay-Z got pressed, 6ix9ine got banned from an entire state. Rappers have disappeared for not following protocol. This isn't territory, this is extortion wrapped in respect.
6ix9ine though. Y'all came to see 6ix9ine, huh? Where you at?
That question terrified an entire city. But here's what nobody talks about. The federal government has had Jay Prince Sr. in their crosshairs for decades. Not just for checking in, for murders, for shootings, for contract hits gone wrong. There's the story of Big Mike, a rapper who got shot up over a contract dispute with Rap-A-Lot. Big Mike almost died. He tried to burn down the Rap-A-Lot headquarters in retaliation. He went to prison. Jay Prince walked free. The pattern repeated over and over. Intimidation, violence, silence. But in 2025, things changed. The feds weren't just investigating Jay Prince anymore. They had him listed as an FBI Houston division subject. Active investigation, building a case. And then something unexpected happened. An outside force stepped in and handed the feds exactly what they needed: evidence, names, a timeline, a confession on camera. That force was Charleston White. If you don't know Charleston White, you need to understand him to understand why Jay Prince Jr. lost it.
Magic City. I went to Magic City the other night. Yeah, I went to Magic City. We went by KOD's. Where else we went?
That's Charleston, a street dude turned podcaster turned internet personality. He says what he wants, when he wants, to whoever he wants. He's got a platform, he's got influence, and most importantly, he's got receipts. For years, Charleston had been making noise about Houston, about the Mob Ties crew, about Jay Prince Jr., about the pattern of violence surrounding them. Most people dismissed him. He was too loud, too crazy, too disrespectful. But then something happened that changed everything. In September 2022, a Chicago jewelry dealer named Duke came to Houston to party with the Mob Ties crew. He was invited by Bowie, one of the rappers in their circle. That Labor Day weekend was supposed to be fun. Instead, it became the event that would later connect to everything. There was a dice game, gambling, big money on the table. And according to WAC 100, one of the few people willing to speak publicly about Mob Ties operations, something went down that night.
Rotate the dice. Now these dice is loaded. The tell me it's a named Wolf, Big Caprice, and watch this, and Little Cam. Or the loaded dice roll.
Rigged dice, loaded dice. A scheme that had allegedly been running for years. And on this night, according to claims, the loaded dice were handed to Duke by accident. He won a lot, maybe $200,000. The next night, Duke went to a concert at the Arena Theater. Boozy was performing. Duke showed up wearing chains worth over $1 million. Maybe he still had the cash from the dice game. At 11:30 p.m., Duke walked to his car in the parking lot. 2 gunmen rushed him from a GMC truck. Shots fired multiple times, execution style. Duke was dead.
Police believe the 29-year-old
victim attended the concert here at Arena Theater last night. Police currently searching for 3 people, 2 possible shooters and a driver.
No robbery, no altercation beforehand. The cops said it looked planned. Boozy immediately went on social media defending himself and his cousin. He denied everything. He said Duke was losing money, not winning. He said his cousin had nothing to do with it, but people weren't buying it.
We met that dude, Duke the jeweler, the night before. We was gambling. The next day, dude followed us to the concert. When we left out the concert, we under the garage. Dude went to his car by himself and walked down to the parking lot. That's when somebody tried to rob him and killed the dude. What the heck?
Boozy went on DJ Vlad and changed the entire story.
Dude was gambling. They trying to make false reps like the dude beat somebody out some money, but the dude actually lost his money, bro. Ain't nobody really.
The contradictions piled up, the questions multiplied, and one man saw through all of it. In 2023, Charleston White did a podcast and said something that would become the foundation for everything that followed.
Everybody in there that night know what the play was, man. Everybody in Texas know what the play is. If you rapping, you celebrity. If you like the strip club, you like to do this, you check in with them, they bringing them bad dice on you. Why you think they Duke the jeweler, they really couldn't get him? That's why they had, come on.
Charleston wasn't just talking. He was naming the scheme. He was connecting mob ties to the rigged dice. He was saying Duke died because of a gambling scam run by Jay Prince Jr. and his crew. And then Charleston did something even more dangerous. He went to Houston. Nobody knows exactly what Charleston said that triggered it. But in Houston, in the 5th Ward, Jay Prince's neighborhood, Jay Prince's hood, the place where mob ties runs everything, Charleston White showed up and he disrespected Jay Prince. Not cautiously, not carefully, brazenly. What happened next was captured on video and spread across the internet in pieces that showed the full scope of what went down.
All the I told y'all I was in the city. Told you I was in the bitty. I told you I was in your city, ass nigga. I told you I was in your city. I've been showing you my exits, my location.
Charleston wasn't just talking, he was taunting them. He was in their territory, alone, telling them he was there, making it clear he wasn't afraid. And then the retaliation came.
Not only did they shoot at the car, they called 30 niggas. Mob ties. Mob ties. The niggas showed up 30 deep, and all they wanted to do was to plead with me to apologize to James Prince.
30 people, a full crew. They didn't just shoot at him. They showed up mob-handed, trying to force an apology. This wasn't a random robbery. This wasn't a street beef that could be squashed with money or respect. This was a direct order to take out a problem. And when the shooting didn't work, they tried intimidation. Here's where things spiral into chaos. After the shooting, after the 30-man show of force, after everything went wrong, Charleston White didn't apologize. He didn't run. He didn't back down. Instead, he went off. And what followed was a campaign of public disrespect so comprehensive, so calculated, and so documented that it became the exact evidence the FBI needed.
Jay Prince, the mob ties, whole family had something to do with this. That's what he's saying. This.
I love to put my real Yo Maya. Jay Prince Sr., boy, I bet you suck better than Pilar Sanders.
This wasn't random anger. This was targeted humiliation. On camera, on social media, repeated, escalated. And then came the part that made it illegal.
You sent some weak to shoot a gun at me. Pow! I started to call the police. And go point out because I saw who shot the gun.
He's naming the action, alleging the perpetrators, creating a paper trail. But the response from Jay Prince Jr. wasn't to let it go. It wasn't to accept the loss. It was to escalate. And that's when the federal investigation changed everything. This is the moment that separates street beef from federal crime.
I will be calling the FBI in the morning to file a report. Why? Because James Prince sent a representative. James Prince sent a representative of Rap A Lot Records, Mob Ties, Criminal Enterprise to come speak to me, to intimidate me, to apologize to James Prince publicly.
Charleston didn't just threaten, he documented. He named the organization, he called it a criminal enterprise. He said hitmen were sent. He said intimidation was the tactic, and then he connected it to something the feds already knew.
Because we know he had takeoff kill. We know he had takeoff kill for the illegal gambling, and I got information on the illegal gambling and the Takeoff case.
Takeoff's murder in 2022, a case that's still unsolved in many people's minds. And now Charleston is on record saying the J. Prince operation was connected to that killing over illegal gambling disputes. This isn't speculation anymore. This is a witness statement to the FBI on camera with specifics. But Charleston wasn't done. And this is where you see the full impact of what happens when a street empire loses control of the narrative. Charleston is doing something brilliant here. He's showing that J. Prince's crew operates through fear and control. He's documenting that they tried to prevent him from protecting himself. He's proving the pattern, and the disrespect kept coming.
I said, J. Prince, and had the nerve to walk back in the Fifth Ward neighborhood by myself.
He's not just talking, he's creating a timeline of provocation that he can present to law enforcement. He's saying, this is what I did. This is how they responded. This is the threat pattern. But then came the statements that truly exposed J. Prince Jr.'s loss of control.
They shot at me. You, J. Prince, you can suck my, you and your sons can suck my together, boy. J. Prince Sr., put this in your mouth.
This is beyond disrespect. This is emasculation on a public platform directed at the entire family hierarchy, including Junior. And according to everyone commenting on this, rappers, street figures, internet personalities, this level of public humiliation from someone who lived through an actual assassination attempt from J. Prince's crew should have been impossible unless something had broken inside the J. Prince operation's ability to respond. Think about what happened from Junior's perspective. Charleston White publicly identifies the mob ties rigged dice scheme. He connects it to Duke the jeweler's murder. He threatens to expose the entire operation. J. Prince Jr. orders his arrest/killing. The hit fails. Charleston goes harder, not softer. He calls the FBI on camera. He humiliates the entire family publicly. He names it a criminal enterprise. He claims knowledge of unsolved murders. For an operation built on fear and control, this is an absolute catastrophe. J. Prince Jr. has spent his entire life living off his father's reputation. The mob ties crew, the record label, the reputation, it's all built on the idea that challenging J. Prince means death or destruction. But Charleston didn't die. He didn't back down. And he went straight to law enforcement with a meticulously documented case.
I've been showing you my exits, my location. Who does this? I don't know no nigga that come to y'all city who don't check in and say, hey y'all, I'm in Academy.
Charleston is literally mocking the checking in system. He's saying, your entire empire is built on a protection racket. And I just walked through it untouched and told everyone how it works. That's not disrespect, that's dismantling. Here's what most people don't realize. The feds were already building a case against J. Prince Sr. He was listed as an FBI Houston Division subject, active investigation. But they needed leverage, they needed testimony. They needed someone willing to go on record with specifics. Enter Charleston White. Everything Charleston said on camera, the threats, the shooting, the intimidation, the criminal enterprise allegations, the connection to Duke's murder, the illegal gambling operations, the alleged Takeoff connection, it's all admissible evidence. It's all prosecution ready. And it's all directly tied to J. Prince Jr.'s decision to escalate when he should have de-escalated. The federal investigators were watching, they were listening, they were documenting, and they were realizing this J. Prince Jr. made the biggest mistake of his career. Now here's where this gets really serious. Takeoff was murdered in November 2022. That's less than 2 months after Duke the jeweler's killing in Houston. Gunned down in broad daylight. The case has been relatively quiet in terms of arrests and convictions, which in hip-hop usually means street justice territory. But if the J. Prince operation was running illegal gambling operations, if those operations were generating massive disputes, if those disputes were resulting in murders, then Takeoff's death might not be an isolated incident. It might be part of a pattern. And if Charleston White can prove that pattern to the FBI, then J. Prince Jr. just handed the feds the breakthrough case they've been waiting for.
Cause we know he had Takeoff killed. We know he had Takeoff killed for the illegal gambling, and I got information on the illegal gambling and the Takeoff case.
Now imagine being a federal prosecutor. You've been investigating J. Prince Sr. for decades. You haven't found the smoking gun. And then suddenly, a high-profile witness walks into your office and says, here's the smoking gun, here's the operation, Here's the pattern. Here's who's running it. All because J. Prince Jr. couldn't control his response to one man's disrespect. This isn't just about Charleston White versus J. Prince Jr. This is about a moment in time when an empire built on fear started to crumble because someone refused to play by the rules. For decades, the rule in Houston was respect J. Prince or face consequences. Publicly, unthinkable. You'd disappear. But Charleston White changed that, and in changing it, he exposed something that will likely haunt the entire J. Prince organization for years. The industry was shocked. A man survived an assassination attempt from J. Prince's crew and then went harder in his accusations. He didn't scare. He didn't apologize. He weaponized his platform, and the feds noticed. Here's the reality. Federal investigations don't move fast, but they move forward. Charleston's statements are documented. The shooting is documented. The pattern is documented. The legal team building a case against J. Prince Sr. and Jr. now has what they've been looking for. A credible witness with specifics, with evidence, with willingness to testify despite the threat to his life. That's worth more than anything they could have found on their own. J. Prince Jr. had the opportunity to let this go. Ignore Charleston. Move on. Keep the operation quiet. Instead, he ordered a hit. He sent 30 people to intimidate. He tried to silence someone who had already gone public. And in doing so, he transformed a loud internet personality into a federal witness.
I will be calling the FBI in the morning to file a report. Why? Because James Prince sent a representative. James Prince sent a representative of Rap-A-Lot Records, mob ties, criminal enterprise to come speak to me, to intimidate me, to apologize to James Prince publicly.
That's not just a statement. That's the beginning of the end. So what does J. Prince lost it actually mean? It means he abandoned the playbook his father wrote. When confronted with public disrespect that couldn't be easily erased, he went old school. Violence, intimidation, crew show of force. But this wasn't the 1990s. This wasn't a time when things could be handled in the shadows. This was social media, live streams, cameras, documentation, federal oversight. And in choosing violence, in choosing intimidation, in choosing the mob response over the strategic silence, J. Prince handed the prosecution a gift-wrapped case. That's not hype. That's the reality. For decades, the J. Prince name meant untouchable. It meant power. It meant fear. But one man's refusal to be scared, combined with one young prince's failure to stay composed, changed that equation. And now the feds are waiting. The story of Charleston White versus J. Prince Jr. isn't a story about a beef. It's a story about the moment an empire's armor cracked. It's about what happens when someone outside the system refuses to accept the system's rules. And it's about how one mistake, one escalation when restraint was required, can unravel decades of carefully built intimidation. J. Prince Jr. lost it, and in losing it, he may have just handed federal prosecutors the case they've been waiting for since his father first started building the Rap-A-Lot empire. This story isn't over, it's just beginning.